Hey everybody, what's up? Let's hold the truth hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Now, there's something I've been meaning to talk about that needs to be explained. And, we've dabbled in it a little when going to Tony's stream. Shout out to Tony Bruno, respect. But what's happened is a lot of times when you bring up the gold pill and you bring up the black pill, a lot of people don't get the black pill is all about solutions to domestic problems, and domestic awareness and how those solutions might be or are foreign. For example, a lot of guys talk about relationships, and when they look at the laws here domestically, they'll point you overseas. They'll basically say, you go overseas to get that. Because once you take the black pill, you realize that you can't be looking at the fantasies. The red pill, a lot of guys in the red pill are stuck on domestic limitations. They can't see outside of their domestic location. But a black pillar will basically say, the laws are the laws here. The laws here for marriage, child, paternity fraud, all the laws here are the laws here. But the laws here aren't the laws overseas, And then, when you take the gold pill and you get your passport and you truly become a global-minded man where you're all about traveling and being global, that's my eventual goal. And I think a lot of men, the gold pill will be their salvation, because once you become global-minded, you understand that there's a lot more solutions than there are problems. Because, what might be legal here in this country might not be legal over there. Then this and so on. You start looking at the world and what it has to offer for you. So, I had to, when I introduced the gold pill, I pointed out to men, it's the inevitable goal. Even if you're black pilled, the next step from the black pill is the gold pill. You're going to inevitably seek to become, if all the solutions are overseas, for the most part, for personal relationships, your marital status and so on, you're going to eventually just look overseas and no longer even consider your domestic location. Now, one thing we get on, been on Tony's stream, and we get this a lot. We get this a lot when we bring up the world. A lot of men that don't understand the gold pill or don't understand the black pill will basically tell you, well, you're running away. A lot of men will basically tell you, well, you're running away. You're running away from your country. You're running away from the domestic land and so on. You're running away by seeking a better opportunity. And what happens is a lot of these men have what I call domesticated vision, where they can basically, they can admit, there's other countries, they can admit there's other countries, there's other countries. That's as far as they can go. They can admit they exist. They can admit they might go there for a vacation. But when it comes to opportunities and living there or taking what it has to offer, they basically pull back to their domestic setting and location and devalue and claim, you're running away, and a lot of these men, it's, they haven't taken the black pill yet, and the thing is this, they don't understand that, dude, if you limit yourself to just one country, you become a man that basically looks at the globe. You look at the globe and you only count the location you were born. You know, basically, it's basically you look at a globe and paint everything black. You know what I'm saying? Completely black and void of any light. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to seeing it as something that exists. You know, there's a lot of men that are trapped in their domestic way of thinking. You know, it's kind of, you gotta look at it as though, let's basically say a man. Let's say a man is, you know, a man is a wolf. You know, a man is a wolf. You know, and that man was born in his born in his country, and he's been domesticated. You know, he's been domesticated and now can only see and exist in his country. He now has domesticated values. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer free. He's no longer aware of his true natural innate nature. You know, man's natural nature is to actually seek to wander. You know, man's first job, and I touch up on this a lot of times with you know, a lot of times with my gold pill perspective, is that man's first job, you know, since we were you know, our ancestry was basically wandering. You know, man's number one job was, look, the buffalo we're hunting here, they moved, so let's go after them. Or there's no more food or opportunity here, let's move. That is man's natural order. You know what I mean? You could basically say man is a natural instinct is to be somewhat of a gypsy in a way. You know, your urge to just travel and seek out the best opportunity. Seek out the best opportunity. Now, a lot of men will, like, as I stated, will say, well, you know, you're running away. You're running away from your country. You're not running away. Your country ran away from you once it no longer seeked to be beneficial to you. You know what I mean? You're not running away from nothing. When your country runs away from morality, runs away from due diligence, runs away from justice and so on, and has legally created a scenario where you're basically in a cage. You know, you no longer see your country as a free roaming aspect of your life. You see it as, oh man, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful how I encounter these people. I gotta be careful how I talk to these people. I gotta be careful and avoid these long-term relationships. Your country becomes, you know, shout out to MD, it becomes a zoo. You're basically free roaming in a big cage, you know? And a lot of guys will say, well, you guys are saying run away. We're not running away from nothing. You know what I mean? You're not running away from nothing by seeking a better opportunity. You're running towards yourself. You know, what's happened is a lot of men domestically, let's say Canada, let's say the United States, let's say Australia, let's say, you know, UK, westernized. A lot of these men have been domesticated and made emotional, you know, made reliant on their emotional over their logistical way of thinking. You'll have a lot of men, when you bring up solutions, they'll bring up, well, I don't feel it. I don't feel like it would be the right thing to do. I don't feel it's the right thing to do. I don't feel this change. I don't feel this is a solution. Notice, it's all about feelings. It's all about their feelings and how they currently feel, rather than pointing out the logistical evidence, the legal ramifications, the law. So a lot of men domestically have been made to place their feelings over the logic. You know what I mean? You're running away from your country because you're abandoning where you were born and so on, and it won't feel like home when you leave. You know what I mean? Well, if you're at home, if you're in your country domestically and you don't feel at home, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel free. you realize and you mentally start thinking that you're limited. Your limitations are capped. You're capped. Your potential is capped. You know what I mean? You can't reach the natural ideal situation of your growth and stability. You know what I mean? Then are you really in your country? No, you know. And a lot of guys that have been domesticated, and you know, I've done a Pill-Losophy series. If you watch the Pill-Losophy series, I touched up on the yellow pill, the orange pill, you know, and of course the silver pill, you know, these pills, and the gray pill, and the dark gray pill. You know what I mean? They're pills that point to a man being domesticated to a point where they can't relieve and move on. What's happened is so many men have been domestically, mentally tamed and are fueled by propaganda that they no longer see or understand the justification of a man seeking a better opportunity for himself. You know, they now see that as a problem. They see that as you running away. You know what I'm saying? They see you running away when your current country has run away from its responsibility to you as a man. You know what I'm saying? It's run away from your marital status. It's run away from you getting due diligence when it comes to the judicial system, the family court system. Your country has already run away from its promised and its accountabilities and its quote-unquote guarantees. It's run away from you. You're just so domesticated that you're too comfortable. It's you'd rather suffer where you know than move where you have no awareness and must learn. You know, must learn to find comfort. You know, there's a lot of guys that in the manosphere that have been domesticated and they suffer from it. You know what I mean? It's basically as though, you know, it's as though, let's say this, let me use this as an example. I'm a tiger and I go visit a tiger in the zoo. You see this tiger in the zoo running around in his cage, and I'm looking at him. Damn, he really thinks he can go anywhere. He really thinks he's free when he's confined to this goddamn cage in the zoo. Man, this tiger will never know the realization of freedom. He's been domesticated and they caged him, and now this is what he thinks is freedom. You know, this tiger's roaming in the goddamn cage in the zoo, you know, roaring or whatever, thinking he's free, while I'm outside the cage and I'm actually free roaming and expanding myself in the world. There's a lot of men in the manosphere, outside of the manosphere, that have been domesticated that now think that them seeking a better opportunity is them running away, that seeking an opportunity that benefits themselves is running away. You know, it's running away rather than taking responsibility for themselves and providing themselves the best opportunities possible. I mean, the country's already doing it. I mean, United States is in Thailand. It's in, you know, South America. It has bases everywhere. You know, even you know, United Kingdom has bases everywhere. You know what I mean? In a lot of locations. Your country's already based globally. Yet you, as a quote-unquote citizen of your country, be it Canada, be it the United States, be it the United Kingdom, you're basically saying, I am honoring my country by remaining here, no matter how much I suffer. I honor my land and my heritage. Dude, you're not honoring nothing. Your country's already moved overseas. Your country's doing global economic trade, and it's been doing this for over centuries. Yet you will not take awareness and accountability and take the opportunities that the global economy offers. You know, you'll go, you know, you got a lot of guys, you know, I've spoken to some people. Yeah, man, you know, Bitcoin's gonna give you this, it's gonna give you that. You know, you buy it with some dollars, you know, Bitcoin's going up, it's going down. When in reality, you just go to Mexico and your dollar is multiplied 19 times. You know what I mean? Your dollar is now worth 19 times or more what it's worth over here. You know what I'm saying? And you have guys telling you, yo, man, go play with Bitcoin. Now everybody's in a Bitcoin game. Go play Bitcoin. When literally you go across the street to Mexico, the dollar's worth 19 times or more than it's worth than it's worth where you are domestically. Your country is playing the same game. America has bases all over the world, and guess what? Running certain bases, for example, the U.S. running a base in Mexico, running a base in certain sections of South America is cheaper than running it in the United States, because the dollar has more value in certain other countries. You know? So you have a lot of men, when you bring up the gold pill, when you say, yo, the goal of any man is to be global. You know, we even have a popular thing on YouTube where people on YouTube are saying, well, the globalists are destroying the world, and the globalists are destroying this and that, when we've had global trade for herbs and spices for over 1,000 years. We've had global trade. And here's the thing. Why wouldn't you, if for example, you're in Nigeria, why wouldn't you as Nigeria want to have relations with America and other countries to know your place and your position, and to be able to deal and have conversation economically with these other countries? You know what I mean? That's where that whole globalist sphere thing, it makes no sense. We've been global. You know what I'm saying? If your country doesn't run 100% on domestic goods for technology, food, whatever you name it, you know what I'm saying? And if it imports anything from another country, guess what? Your country is global. It's part of the global economy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of men that, you know, I mean, it's as I stated, you know, when shout out to MD, as I stated when I was on his stream, I said, dude, the minority, the super minority are the black pillars, and even more of a minority are the gold pillars. You know what I'm saying? The rest, the gray pill, the dark gray pill, the orange pill, the yellow pill, the red pill, the purple pill, the pink pill, the feminized man, these are the major, they're the majority. You know what I'm saying? And any man that's telling you, oh, you're going overseas, you're running away, they're basically living in a delusion. They're living in a delusion as though their very country, they go to Walmart and they can't find something made in China, something from Puerto Rico, something from Jamaica, something from Haiti, something from South America, something from Canada. Your domestic location is global. You know what I'm saying? Your country operates on a black pill approach when it comes to purchasing spices, herbs, and so on, where they import certain things, export certain things. You know what I mean? Your country is global minded. Your country is actually, when you break it down, it's a gold pilled, it's gold pilled awareness. And it's, you know, it's a black pilled anyway. When you break down your country economically, your country is really black pilled when it comes to economics, you know, importing and exporting. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of these guys, when they bring up you're running away, they're living in a delusion. You're not running away from nothing. You're actually running towards opportunity. You're moving towards, because a lot of guys domestically have been brought up on the put everyone first. Put everyone first. They've effeminized the way a man thinks. No, you put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself, the individual, first, because if you can individually survive and have value, then you could be counted upon in a group setting. But when they want to keep you as a sheeple, and they've effeminized men, you know what I'm saying? For women, yes, you got to think of everyone first. That's a woman's survival instinct. That's how they survive. They group together, they come together, and you know what I mean? That's how they get more security and safety. For a man, on the other hand, it's more detrimental, because it's about the man sacrificing his individuality, his awareness as a man, for the benefit and standards set by their current government, which, let's be honest, the government is running on corruption. You know what I'm saying? The government is running on corruption right now. The government is basically a tar pit. You know what I mean? Anybody who buys in will be consumed by it. You know? So you have this, a lot of men saying, you're running away. No, you're not running away. You know what I mean? You're the tiger that's stepping out of that goddamn cage. You realize that, this cage isn't all that's available to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what taking the black pill and eventually becoming gold pilled, where you have global salvation. When you become a globalist and you become absolutely globally aware, you become completely saved. You know what I'm saying? You have no woes. Your life becomes filled with opportunities, because a guy that's going off-grid domestically can only talk about going off-grid in domestic locations. He's going off-grid in California. He's going off-grid in New York. He's going off-grid in Jersey, Texas, Ohio. But the guy that's going off-grid globally, he's going off-grid in the goddamn Amazon, where there's no electricity, and there's certain aspects where that country might be a third world, where the government really isn't truly involved. The government's only focused on the city aspect. You know what I'm saying? A globalist, there are certain islands that are abandoned. There are certain locations on this earth where the government says, fuck it, we don't care. You know what I mean? That's the globalist, a true man. These men that bring up, you're running away, they're domestically bound. They're aware that the global world exists, but they won't step out of their domestic comfort zone. You know what I mean? That wonder, that spirit of manhood that burns in them, that tells them, you go where the opportunity is. It's built in your genetics. This is what got us to where we are now. You know what I'm saying? If our ancestors would have just, man, we're starving here. All the cattle, all the wild game has died. We're just going to stay here because this is where we were born and this is where we're going to stay for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? You've already declared that you're more loyal to your disintegration and your eventual demise than you are loyal to your salvation. You know what I'm saying? A man sees the world as a globe, the whole world. And a man even sees even further. He sees space. He sees the universe. He doesn't just, I'm in Canada and that's as far as I'll go. That's all that's available to me. I'm in the US, that's all that's available to me. I'm in the United Kingdom, that's all that's available to me. You know what I'm saying? That ain't factual. So a lot of these guys, man, is just to tell you the truth. No man is running away from nothing. To say he's running away is to basically imply that this man doesn't have the freedom to advance beyond his domestic location. You're basically saying that this man should be locked up domestically and not be able to fly anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Your country is already overseas and doing business with every other country. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You literally have a citizens program to get a green card. You know what I mean? You literally have United Nations to represent you overseas. You know what I mean? Your country is global. Your country is not national. Your country is global. Then the trade of spices and so on. That's why I've been telling guys on a stream I did, too many pills, that the world will naturally, the world will naturally black pill you. The world will naturally red pill you. The world will naturally purple pill. The world will naturally, if you look at it, it will point you to where or what it is. This stuff isn't new. It's just that man finally woke up and said, well, let's study our own behavior. You know, let's study our own behavior and see where it takes us. So the thing is this, man, any man that seeks to go overseas, you know, you're a black pillar, you're seeking to go overseas for your issues here. You're not running away. Any man that's a global-minded man that just travels around the world is not loyal to any location except the globe and traveling. You're not running away from anything. You're running towards your salvation and towards your freedom. You know what I mean? A man is not limited to one location. Well, this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage.